I definitely think that I've developed some leadership roles here on campus. I'm currently the coordinator for Ambassadors of Change. I'm also the vice president of fundraising for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I'm on the education and assessment team for the Bulldogs Into the Streets committee, as well as holding a few positions on Answers for Autism, and then I'm the Vice President of Special Events for the Pan-Hellenic Association.
Next fall, so fall of 2018, I'm going to be an RA in the new building of Irvington, and I'm going to help freshmen.
I do, and the law enforcement has been great for me. I've just been appointed to Captain and Director of Community Relations Division, and my role is to bring the community and the police department together. You'll hear bridge the gap a lot, and that's just a phrase that I like to kind of get rid of. My thing is get rid of the gap. We should all walk the same earth the same way. Bridges fall, bridges crumble, different materials, you don't know which one's stronger, but you notice how no one ever tries to replace the earth. And so my thing is I want to bring people on the same ground, and my leadership role is to do that.
Yes, I have been the principal cellist of my high school symphony orchestra for 2 years now.
That's a great question. So I do feel as an instructor that I'm a leader of classes. I select readings that we read and topics that we discuss in class. And I also engage students, get to know them and help them kind of develop their passions and interests and their knowledge in certain areas. So I see myself as a leader in a couple of different ways. So providing assignments, also helping to develop students and help them to pursue the things that they care about and eventually have professional and personal success.
Yeah, actually I do think I have a leadership role. It comes in several different territories. One, as pastor of a church, there's a lot of different aspects in leadership there that you have, both with the operations of the church as well as in weekly worship, to education and things within the congregation there, because you're kind of a person with many hats in that, and some things you do well, some things you don't do necessarily well, but that's where you depend upon others, and as a leader you try to bring those leadership roles that you may not necessarily have into that, so that way then you're a complete package there with that. And also as the lead chaplain with the Fort Wayne Police Department, you're overseeing administrative things, but you're also doing leadership with regards to people look to you as kind of to be blunt, a moral compass along the way, and how you interact with the community. That's both with the police as well as the community at large. Because when you're doing that, you really are a role model with that.
I am the president of Tri Delta on Butler's campus, so I feel like that is a leadership role, obviously, but in that position I kind of help control the organization and make sure everyone is doing their jobs properly, and then in that I help foster the community of growth and kindness that is the sisterhood.
Well, with regards to being a pastor, I argued with God for a long time. I mean, from the time I was 12 years old till I was 26 before I left to go to seminary and did those things. At times, I took that mantle on fairly easy, but the other times I was like, see, this is why I didn't want to do this to start with. But I really believe that what happened along the way is that leadership is not necessarily something that you seek to do necessarily, but can be put upon you to do that.
I guess I always felt like I had ideas that were worth sharing, but I never thought of myself necessarily as a leader per se, but I wanted to share the things that I learned, especially as I continued through school and became an instructor. I think there are certain things that are important for us to know about today. So I have worked hard to make sure that I know the right things and know those things very well so that I can share those with other people.
I've always wanted to be a leader of some sort, not something huge, but just helping others in small ways. And I think this position of being a resident assistant is a small way to help a lot of people in a bigger way.
So definitely balancing all of them. Obviously, college can be a busy time, a stressful time, and just finding the time to commit myself to all of them because having 5 different leadership positions can be a lot. Just dedicating myself and not running myself too thin, but also doing the best I can for all of them and not prioritizing one over the other. But it's been super awesome to be able to work with lots of people in these different areas and see everyone's passions and then spark my passions.
You know, the biggest challenge is getting police officers not to be kind of lazy. You know, well, we're streamlined. There's things we're supposed to do, and there's things that we just want to be done with when it's there. And getting officers to get really involved in non-traditional police work is sometimes very difficult, and myself included. There's just times when you're in that uniform a lot, you don't want to be in that uniform anymore, but I don't want folks to see me in uniform. You know, so the biggest challenge is that we have to be in the community all the time so that they know that we're moms, we're dads, aunts, uncles, you know, that we're coaches, you know, we're in the ministry. Just to know that the challenges that you face every day are the same challenges we have to face when we're not in the uniform. So that blend between traditional and non-traditional police work is really challenging.
I think one of the main challenges that I face is just kind of accepting the fact that you're not going to please everyone and that you can't make everyone happy because I'm the kind of person that I always want to be there for someone, and I kind of put my heart into everything that I do, and I just want people to be happy whatever they're doing, and just knowing that in a leadership position it's not realistic to make everyone happy, and sometimes you just have to make the decisions that are the best for the community as a whole.
Within our world here at Butler and maybe any of the other student athletes I've had an opportunity to work with, because of the feedback that I receive from some of them, they lead me to believe that I am making a difference, that the advice that we give and the programming that we provide is helping them become better people, and that's really what this is all about.
Yes, so I feel very strongly that education is a powerful tool for change in society. So it's a reason that I have this job, that I wanted this kind of a job, is to be able to talk about political things that are going on in the world, changes in technology, and how those things play out for all of our well-being and empowerment. And so I very strongly feel like the things that we talk about in class, I hope that those make an impact on students in their lives.
I hope so. When I started playing the cello in 3rd grade, I was the only female in my class, I guess. And as I've grown and told people, hey, I play the cello and stuff, I've noticed a lot more people have wanted to play the cello, and girls too. And so I hope that, especially being section leader now, I'm influencing them to continue playing in college, and even if that's not what they want to do, that they continue being in orchestra and everything. So.
That's a very good question, because I think that when you include the community, sometimes that's really hard because it differs than from one community to the next. And while it's easy to always be what I call homogeneous, in other words, all the same, but that's really not stretching you in your leadership role either. As I oftentimes say, sometimes as a chaplain, before being a chaplain, I was pretty much in the dark about what goes on in our community as a whole. Now that I'm not in the dark all the time about everything that's there, I wish I was, instead of being in the light, that I was back in the dark again, so I can honestly say I didn't know what was going on. But the other part of it is that I think that's where the challenge really helps us, because it causes us to look out beyond ourselves, and I think that's what a good leader does.
When I first interviewed to be an RA, we had to come up with a program of what we could potentially do to teach new residents, and I came up with one for LGBT awareness. So there's different things like that where we have either unit meetings or dorm events of Q&As or panels or something of the sort to teach new incoming freshmen how it works around campus and what to get involved in.
Well, I oversee our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and one of the things that we definitely charge ourselves with is community engagement. And within the department, all of our teams do some sort of community service, community engagement, get out, get involved. And so we just, we either have people sometimes approach us with ideas, or things that they would like us to participate in, or we try to be a little creative and come up with some things ourselves. But certainly we think that it's important to help our athletes understand that at some point in time you're going to be a citizen, not just a student, not just an athlete, not just both at the same time, but you're going to be a citizen at some point in time, and engaging yourself in your community is important.
My biggest thing is I just want to lead by example, and hopefully by spreading my passions, that sparks people's interest in spreading their passions. So I just want to encourage people to always step up and be the voice for whatever they're passionate about. Usually just stepping up and being that person to be an example for others encourages others to step up and really make a difference, and not be shy to voice what they think is right.
I really hope I can just be someone that is comforting. That's been my goal my entire life, of just having people that can come to me and feel comfortable talking to me about things that they may not otherwise feel comfortable talking about. And I really want to make a difference and just be that friend to freshmen who feel like they don't have anyone, because that's how I felt when I first came in. I'm never going to make any friends. I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get that. So I just want to be that encouraging person to say that you will be successful in life.
Well, I hope to be chief of police here.
Okay.
And I believe that officers understand what my position is in the community. And that's why I believe the mayor and the chief currently, Steve Reed, put me in the position I'm in, because they know the effect that I want people to have in our community. And I believe that we can continue what we're doing. And it's just dropping that rhetoric that police are against any group of people. We have a job to enforce and maintain social order in our community. And when we educate people on how we do that, then we have more folks in the community who understand what we do, and we don't have that miscommunication, because that's the key, is education and making sure we have a constant stream of communication.
Well, I'm actually majoring in vocal performance and minoring in cello performance. So performing is obviously my thing, and I definitely want to make an impact and show people that music isn't just like something you do for fun, or that it can really be a career and it's not something to like laugh at.
But I think through education, people learn acceptance, they learn about the world around them, they learn to navigate difficult situations, they learn more about ethics and morals and fairness. A lot of times it's important to remember history, and I think that the basis from which we can talk about all these things and think about them and critique the world around us comes in many ways from research that's been done. And so I feel very strongly that that kind of theory and research that we have as the foundation of what we do in an educational environment helps us to create a world that's better than the one that we have today.
I think this goes back to just making an impact for others and making them feel comfortable the way that they are, because again, that's something that I struggled with, And I think the biggest impact I want to make is first to just foster a community of kindness and love, and help empower others to become the best version of themselves, and to see that they are truly amazing, that they can do great things in this world, because that's support that I've had throughout my life, whether it was my brothers and my parents, and I know a lot of people don't always get that, so just being able to foster that and have that community for other people I think is really important, and it's something that I hope to impact and kind of pass on to the next group of women.